this session, I would like to explain about game theory and strategic behavior from Dominic Salvatore. First, we will start with the definition of strategic behavior. Strategic behavior refers to the plan of action or behavior of an oligopolist after it's taking into all consideration of all possible reaction of its competitors. Since there are only a few firms in this industry, the action of each firm will affect the other firms. And then, game theory is concerned about the choice of the best optimal solution in a complex situation. The game theory will always include the players, strategies, and the payoff metric. There are some types of the games. First is zero-sum game, and the second is non-zero-sum games. We also will introduce about Nash equilibrium. Nash equilibrium will happen if each player chooses a strategy that is optimal given the strategy of the other player. A strategy is dominant if it is optimal regardless of what the other player does. Now, let us consider this situation. Firm A and B have to choose whether they want to advertise or not. We can see the payoff in the metric. For example, if Firm A chooses to advertise and Firm B also chooses to advertise, Firm A will get payoff 4 and Firm B will get 3. Now, let's consider the optimal strategy for Firm A if Firm B chooses to advertise. If Firm B chooses to advertise, Firm A will get the payoff 4 if it does advertising too. And Firm A will get payoff only 2 if it doesn't advertise. So, based on the payoff metric, we can conclude that it is better for Firm A to advertise. Now we move to the next consideration. What is the optimal strategy for Firm A if Firm B chooses not to advertise? Please see the rightmost column. If Firm A chooses to advertise, the payoff is 5. If it doesn't advertise, the payoff only 3. Again, the optimal strategy for Firm A is to advertise. Therefore, we can say the dominant strategy for Firm A is to advertise. Dominant strategy means, regardless whatever Firm B decided to do, Firm A will get optimal payoff by advertising. Now, let us consider this situation.
Considering the payoff metric, what is the optimal strategy for Firm A if Firm B chooses to advertise?
A will choose to advertise because the payoff 4 is higher than 2. Now, what is the optimal strategy for Firm B if Firm A chooses to advertise? If Firm B chooses to advertise, the payoff is 3. Otherwise, the payoff is 1. The optimal strategy for Firm B is to advertise. Now, what is the optimal strategy for Firm B if Firm A chooses not to advertise?
If Firm B chooses to advertise, the payoff is 5. Otherwise, the payoff is 2. Again, the optimal strategy is to advertise.
Regardless of what Firm A decided to do, the optimal strategy for Firm B is to advertise. The dominant strategy for Firm B is to advertise. The dominant strategy for Firm B is to advertise. If Firm B chooses to advertise, then the optimal strategy for Firm A is to advertise. Then we can conclude the Nash equilibrium is for both firm is to advertise. Now, let us consider about prisoner dilemma. Two suspects are arrested for robbery. They are immediately separated. If convicted, they will get a term of 10 years in prison. However, the evidence is not sufficient to convict them of more than the crime of possessing stolen goods, which carries a sentence of only 1 year. The suspects are told the following: if you confess and your accomplice does not, you will go free. If you do not confess and your accomplice does, you will get 10 years in prison. If you both confess, you will both get 5 years in prison. We can translate the consequence of each action into this payoff matrix. Please remember, this payoff matrix is in negative value because this reflects the total loss for each prisoner. By considering the payoff matrix, we can conclude that the dominant strategy for both individuals in this case is to confess. By the confess, they can get only 5 years in the prisons. Now, we move to the application in the real business world. The prisoner dilemma leads us to the price competition by oligopolies in oligopoly market. As considering the payoff matrix, we can see the dominant strategy for both firms is by applying the lower price. This is another example of prisoner dilemma in the application of non-price competition. By considering this payoff matrix, we can see the optimal strategy for both firms is to advertise. This is another example of prisoner dilemma in the application of carpet cheating. By considering the payoff matrix, we can see the dominant strategy for both firms is to cheat. In international competition, we can take example of Boeing versus Airbus industry. Let's consider the following situation in the payoff matrix. We can choose to use decision tree to solve this problem. Let's consider this situation. Firm A has option whether it wants to apply high price or low price, and is same with Firm B. It can choose to apply high price or low price. If Firm A chooses to high price, and then Firm B has the option to apply high price too, and as the consequence, the Firm A will get $100 and Firm B also get $100. And then, if Firm A chooses to apply high price and Firm B chooses to apply low price, and then Firm A will get 130 and Firm B only get 50. Now, let us consider the following situation. If Firm A chooses to apply low price and the Firm B chooses to apply high price, the consequence, Firm A will get 180 and Firm B only get $80. And then, if Firm A chooses to apply low price and then Firm B chooses to also apply low price, they will get, for Firm A, they will get 150, and then for Firm B, they will get 120. Now let us consider the example of Airbus and Boeing in the following decision tree. If Airbus in this case was symbolized by A, it has option whether to produce the A380 or do not produce it. And then Firm B as Boeing has the option whether it wants to produce jumbo jet or Sonic Cruiser. And the consequences we can see in this diagram. Now, let's consider from Boeing side first. For Boeing, if Firm A or Airbus choose to produce A380, it is better for Firm B to produce Sonic Cruisers because as the consequence, they will get $100. And then, for Boeing, if Airbus do not produce anything, it also profitable for them if they choose to produce Sonic Cruiser because they will get the consequence $200. And then what will happen for the Airbus? For the Airbus, if we compare whether they want to produce or not produce, it is better for them to produce the A380. So, the conclusion and the solution for this example is Airbus built A380 and Buick builds Sonic Cruiser. Okay everyone, that's all from me. Hope you will enjoy it and hope it will give benefit for you. See you in the next session.